Welcome back to another episode of Athlete POV. Today we're on with Isaiah White. He's a 6'7" guard from California. He graduated from Damien High School back in 2016, went on to Salt Lake Community College after that, went on then to, in 2018 and 2019, on to Utah Valley with the Wolverines, and then following, transferred to USC last season, beginning of last season, and, was a key factor in USC's Elite Eight run this following season. And this year, we're looking forward to the tournament, obviously, upcoming. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man? I'm doing good. How you doing?
So something I found most interesting was your whole recruiting process and how you ended up at USC. Could you go in more detail of how your college process was up to this season?
I started my senior year at Damien High School, and I had zero scholarship offers. Was not ranked, so I transferred to Damien to kind of get to get on the team that would be recognized for winning and tell myself, get out there a little bit. And then after that, I played for Dinos, Trigionis, and Belmont Shore. And before that, I was playing with Prodigy, Cam Murray and Tracy Murray. But I played travel ball after that. And from then on, after my senior year that summer, I found out that I wasn't cleared on the NCAA clearinghouse. So I had to go to school last minute. And the option was either JUCO, Division II, go the prep school route, where I would still come back as a senior and just be like a super senior.
Right.
My mom didn't like the prep school route just because it was expensive, and she didn't want me to stay in high school. She knew I was done with high school. She wanted me to get started with college. My dad actually did want me to go D2, but I wasn't playing this. I made up in my mind that if I'm playing the sport, then I'm doing whatever I want to do, and I'm playing it how I want to play it. Or if I'm not good enough, then I'm not good enough. But I didn't want to settle for nothing. And I didn't know if I was a Division I basketball player. I wasn't even a big fan of any schools. I did know that I played against other Division I commits in high school, and I played well against them. Or I didn't see a big difference between my game and their game, so I was like, I'm not going to settle for Division II if I think, if I played against players that are going to go in Division I. So I just made the decision myself to, go JUCO and go to Salt Lake Community College. And from then on, that was a hard decision because, I told my dad, straight up, I'm not going Division II. I'm going this route. I knew that, a lot of people who go JUCO, you don't make it out, or if you get, something happens and you don't get offers or whatever, then you might not even go D2. I might not get a scholarship at all. So I knew that going the Division II route, I would at least get a scholarship to get my degree. But I didn't like that I was going to settle and cut myself short of what I thought I could, the level I thought I could play at. So I just went JUCO, took a risk. Everyone was telling me in different ways, but more of just trying to give me advice. I'm not going to say anyone was hating or whatever. It was just everyone was giving me advice as far as what they thought I would enjoy.
Right. Yeah.
And they wanted me to play, and they didn't want me to, JUCO is rough. And, especially in California, there's no scholarships or nothing. So they wanted me to, want whoever wanted me and be cool with that. And, I don't resent anyone for telling me that, but I for sure did take it as you're not the one that's playing.
Yeah, man. I mean, everyone probably has an opinion about what to do in your scenario, because everyone probably that's your age or once wants to be where you are, so everyone probably had a say in that. So now, but a big thing is with all this pressure that was probably on you, what would you say, how'd you deal with that?
I always just trust. First of all, my mom and my dad always raised me, just being real with me. They prepared me to know that I'm gonna go through some, I'm gonna go through some failures or go through some hard times, and I'm gonna be all right. So I wasn't worried too much about pleasing anyone.
Right.
If I'm a Division I basketball player or a Division II basketball player, then whether I go JUCO or not, I'll end up there. If I'm not a Division I basketball player, then it's not a big deal. I'll go wherever I have to go. But
if there's still another chance, then I'm not gonna settle just because someone else told me what I should do. Especially with how I came up, because I knew that I started playing basketball my freshman year in high school, so I did know that everyone had a head start on me. I knew that there's bigger names out there, and I didn't have any name. I knew that I was like climbing the ladder. Like, I was learning fast.
Absolutely.
So
And
I didn't. Yeah.
yeah, and I was just about to add on there. So many kids probably in your scenario right out of high school, how you said you had no scholarship offers. A lot of kids probably would just maybe hang it up there and not go as hard. Was there like a moment where you realized that, yeah, I'm special and I know that my game is just as good as some of the people I'm playing, like you said before?
I don't know if I ever did not think that.
That makes sense, because I guess the way that you went throughout all these schools after high school, I guess there was no like stopping point. Like no is never the answer for you. Like you probably never took no as an answer.
Yeah, no. Throughout my whole career, I've always had like, I don't know what it is either. It's because I've been playing sports since I've been like 3 years old. I've never not been good at a sport. Baseball and football, those are my main sports, but I was always just been active and always been, athletic, and I used to learn fast, so I was never worried about me not catching on to basketball and me not, becoming a Division I player or whatever player that, like, I always, even when I was playing bad, like when I was trash and I was learning, like my freshman year, I had 5 turnovers in my first game, and the coach benched me, and it was bad. Then I played center on JV at Upland High School. I was a center in 10th grade on JV. But I never really, like, even though I was trashed, and you can tell how people act towards you when they don't respect your game. And I never, I just always like took it like, and it just motivated me. So, but I never really thought that I wasn't good enough. And I just knew that I wasn't good enough right now. Right. But I knew that I was coming.
So I guess
I don't think there's any specific time where like I had a great game or I popped off or I had a good season or a good summer, and I felt like now I belong. I've always knew I belonged. I just knew I just had to learn and learn fast.
Man, other than that, that's great to hear, because everyone has like a process, and I guess your process was just not giving up or not listening to what other people were saying to you. So now another big thing is not everyone that gets to where you are right now is like that lucky. So obviously some hard work had to go in for your success. So I guess another main question I got here, what are some like of your routines and like some of your healthiest habits that you follow almost on a daily basis?
My mom taught me growing up that I took for granted until I got older and realized that these things are a big deal. Like just sleep, sleep is important. Sleep is so important. Sleep, I don't do it all the time, I'm not gonna lie. But I try to drink 4 liters of water a day.
Yeah, that would certainly help, I think, for
so trying to do that, usually I'll get around 2. And then some days I do get 4, some days I only get like 1. But just trying to do that every single day makes me drink lots and lots of water, and it just flushes everything out and makes you feel better. So just to sleep and then water, a lot of water is just, it gives me a lot of energy and makes me feel good.
So now with any sport, like you said, you played football and baseball back in high school. What was like some of the what was some of the most effective like exercises or workouts, or whether it be just stretching or yoga, that really played a big factor into your game and training like rituals?
Sand exercises.
Oh wow. Like at the beach or like on a volleyball court or something like that?
Yeah, volleyball court, outside volleyball court, or at a park somewhere. That is something that like changed my whole body. Your legs change. Like, and your explosiveness, you're working on your core. You're working on your balance. And you're explosive.
That's definitely a big thing That's definitely a big thing that a lot of people probably miss out on, because people, especially basketball players, they just might go into the gym for 1 or 2 hours a day. But the additional stuff, like you mentioned, on a volleyball court outside, not in a gym is probably very helpful and very like an addition to what you've already probably do in the gym.
Yeah. It's always, you have to stay in the gym. That's the regular, like, that's the basic. You have to be in the gym. But I'm talking about, like, sand, for me, sand and the treadmill.
Right, because when I guess you're running up and down the court, you got to stay in shape, obviously.
Yeah, and you just feel better. Like, you feel like you can read the game easier. You're not worried about being tired. The game is slower. You can react because you practice running. Like, you're not thinking about breathing, and you're actually thinking about playing the game, while you can see others breathing extra hard, and so you automatically give yourself what should I say?
I know what you mean. I'm taking that like elite stamina is like something that's really beneficial to especially basketball.
Yeah. So that with the sand, and then basketball workouts is what I've learned that I've just kind of started doing myself. When I was in JUCO, and I got that from my dad. Training from my 10th grade year to my junior year that summer, because I was a center. I went from a center, and I was like 6'3" on JV to I went to and I changed myself into a guard at like 6'5" on varsity, a shooting guard, and my body looked different. I was running way faster, and I was running like a guard, but I was actually bigger, and it was because of those sand workouts and just running miles.
Gotcha. Yeah, and now, growing up and then in college and high school, everything combined, was there ever like a role model for you that really like had an impact on you and like spiritually like influenced you?
My mom, for sure. She's just super positive and tough mentally, and she's wise. So she's taught me letting God take control and not stressing too much about stuff that can be stressful.
Definitely. And now with USC this upcoming year, obviously last year, Elite Eight run, beautifully done. This next upcoming year, this month, what are some of what's the standard now at USC?
Nobody's excited about the Elite Eight no more. We know that we did that already, so we want to do something that's better than what we did last year, and so we're just locked in. Like, we have no other choice. Yeah, just hungry, and it's do or die. So and we've been there before. So at least it's not like last year. We was going in and we were just like
got nothing to lose.
So amazed, so amazed from everything, and But now like we're gonna go in there and hopefully we can focus up, get some wins.
Absolutely. And now one of the last questions we always ask on Athlete POV is to every athlete. Would you have any advice to any like younger athletes now, or even athletes about your age or pro athletes, anybody? Would you have any advice if someone was going through a tough time and that we really need someone to look to, or any words of wisdom you might have?
Just embrace the tough times. Just embrace it, because that's life. And I think once you start to embrace those tough times, you could turn those into victories. And then when you are going through a good time, you know that you earned it. So that's what I've always gone by. Just embrace it. Like, it's not gonna last forever.
Right. So and you mentioned how you have to earn everything, and I feel like that was actually one of the big like mantras of Athletic Minds as a whole. Like, earn everything you go for, and I feel like that's such a big affirmation to have, because you feel so much better when you do it yourself. Yeah. And I'm sure you feel the same way for everything you've done and everything you've accomplished already. And
definitely.
And then obviously your script isn't over yet, your basketball career. What are some of future goals for you this year? Well, obviously this year is championship. Next year going forward, where do you see yourself in about 5 years?
Sheesh. Just successful in whatever I'm doing, and that's including basketball. Just keep going until I'm successful, whether it's 5 years, 10 years. Not 10 years, but I'm gonna keep going until I get to where I want to go. I'm just worried. I'm just taking it day by day. I'm not worried about too much about 5 years, but I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much that's really important to take it day by day. And I know not everyone can see in the future 5 years from now, but I guess big goals but you ultimately said be successful of whatever aspect it may be in. So yeah, obviously everyone can respect that, to just be on a path of what you're on. And I'm sure right now you're pretty set up pretty nicely for after college in the future. And yeah, man, that's great stuff to hear. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the tournament.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's wrap it up here. We want to thank Isaiah for coming on. Appreciate him coming on, taking his time to deal with us this podcast.
I appreciate you having me, man. Appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah, man. So wish you the best of luck in the tournament, and we'll definitely keep it in touch. This episode will go out Sunday, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's about it.